Today, we hand the microphone to three of our Rose High School interns, Daisy Friedman, Grace Garrigan, and Anna Preston. In this first Rose Teens in Theater podcast, these high school seniors talk about digital opportunities available at the Rose and their own experiences as teen artists creating theater during a global pandemic.
Okay, so welcome to the first episode of TNT, spelled TEA. I'm so excited to have you both on here. So today we're going to just kind of be doing an overview about all the opportunities that the Rose has, even though we're virtual. And I know that I have some experience and you guys have some experience, so we're going to talk about our experience. So first of all, how have you guys been involved in the Rose in the past? Just give us some background.
I have not been involved a lot in my past. I might have taken some classes when I was super young, but it's been so long. But I'm a high school intern right now. So I've done some classes this past summer, and I did the Playscape show this past fall. And that's about all for me.
Awesome. What about you, Grace?
So, like Anna, I'm also a high school intern, but I've done a good amount of TNT things. This will be my fourth year participating in the Young Playwrights Festival, and this will be my third year writing as a young playwright in the Young Playwright class. And then I've seen many a show that the TNT has put on, and I work with some classes. So yeah, that's kind of my experience, my background.
That's super dope. Awesome, you guys. So what's Teens in Theater doing this season? Can you guys tell us about that a little bit? Like, you can start with our nifty show Playscape and anything that you guys know.
Anna, do you wanna kind of explain what we did with Playscapes?
Yeah, so Playscape this year was all virtual. The high school interns met on Zoom 3 nights a week, and we did improv games to get us warmed up, to get us in the headspace of how to do improvised theater. And we had to do a lot of adapting these games to be over Zoom because we're used to doing them in a room together, obviously. And so we made when we got to the nights where we were sharing it with other people and recording, we made 2 different shows every night using audience participation. They would sometimes hop on the cameras and form the scene for us, or they'd put suggestions in the chat of what the characters should do. And we did, I think, 6 nights of that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we did 6 nights of 2 stories each, and it was super fun. We made some really wacky, creative stories. It was a really good time.
That's awesome. And I know that that's kind of been our first-hand experience with the virtual realm of the Rose this year. But Grace, do you want to talk about what's to come that you know of?
Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch more. So one of our next virtual performances that we're going to be doing is Pride Players. And if you don't know what Pride Players is, it's this awesome group that gets together and devises a lot of theater that focuses on being an LGBTQ plus youth in Omaha. And so they are doing that. They are doing a hybrid performance. So, and I don't know when this comes out, but there's an information meeting on Tuesday, which will be tomorrow when we're recording this. So yeah, that's awesome. And then we also have the Teen Idea Coalition, which is a group of awesome people all coming together, trying to talk about inclusion, diversity, equity, and accessibility. We had a meeting a couple days ago where we talked about some pretty hard and important topics like white supremacy and how we can combat that. We have the Young Playwrights class, which is up and starting. And then something very cool happening this November is that we have our #Enough, which is plays to help end gun violence. And we have an informational meeting over Zoom about that on Monday the 16th and that'll be in November. So yeah, so even though that the Rose and TNT, we are all online, that is not stopping us. We are going all out, and there's a lot of awesome opportunities for people to jump in and do something really cool, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, and I know that might have sounded kind of like a big marketing thing, but I want to hear your like takes on how you thought a virtual space would be like in terms of performance and what it actually was like. Because I know for me personally, I was really scared. I didn't think that Playscape would have been as fun as it was, and it was amazing. And I think some of our friends who are thinking about being in TNT shows might be kind of deterred by the fact that it's online this year. But I personally would say it's so much more of a reason to do it because you're literally going to be a part of theater history. So what would you guys say to the teens wanting to do some programming but who aren't quite sure yet?
So I know when I was getting ready to do, I did the Young Playwright, to mention that earlier. I did that this past spring, and I was expecting it to be like class, in that like I would just be like listening to people and I wouldn't be like engaging myself at all. I'd just be like saying lines and then just sitting there. But it's definitely not like that. Your directors are always working to get you on your feet, get you warming up your body, and they're trying to get you to warm up your imagination as well. We saw a lot of that in Playscape. We were always encouraged to use creative camera angles and to get on our feet and really like embody the characters that we were creating. So your directors and also your fellow actors are always trying to make it as fun as it possibly can be, as much like normal quote unquote theater as we can make it right now.
Yeah. What about you?
So to be honest, I thought that the Young Playwrights Festival and Playscape over Zoom was going to be an absolute disaster. I had no idea that it was going to be such a cool and wonderful experience as it was. I thought that people's internet weren't going to work. I thought that people would get bored and it would just completely crash online. But it did not. It formed into these like wonderful experiences that would have never happened in real life. Like exactly like what Daisy said. It was a part of theater history. Converting these things that have been IRL for so long, and then we put them on Zoom, and it was scary and it was nerve-wracking, but it was also so amazing and rewarding to see all of that work and all of that trust that you guys put into this Zoom virtual show and having it succeed just so intensely. So yeah, I would say for anyone who's nervous, your feelings are valid. But just give it a try, because I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised to see that it's going to work out.
Yeah, and like I completely agree. I didn't even know Anna and Grace before Playscape, and I'd like to think we're all pretty good friends, and that happened on Zoom, which is crazy. And it's kind of it's a testament to the Rose. And the wonderful teachers that we have. We had Michael Miller and Stephanie Jacobson as our directors for Playscape. And Pride Players is going to be done by Brian Gehring and Jay and Farah. And all of those wonderful people help out at the Rose. And as Grace said, they really tried to make it as true to the IRL experience as possible. And they did. And that's really amazing. And I don't think you could get that any other place.
Something that Daisy said that really just made me realize. So I have seen Daisy in person once, and I have never seen Anna in person, I don't think. And the fact that we're still like close and we have these connections, it just kind of shows you like the power of theater, which sounds incredibly cheesy. But it's true. Like my cast of Playscapes, I didn't know any of them. I've I've not seen the lower half of their bodies. I only know them from like a little cube or square in Zoom, and yet I'm still like they're still like my close friends, which is crazy to think about. But that's it. That's how we're living.
Yeah, and I think kind of the motto of right now is like, you make do. And I think the Rose and I think TNT is really making do in a really wonderful way. So, I mean, I don't want to speak for the group, but I think everyone who is thinking about doing a virtual show and is kind of on the fence should just come on, give it a try.
Yeah,
Definitely. I think you're just going to learn a lot about theater in general.
Yeah, I agree. So thank you guys so much for being a part of the first ever TNTEA podcast. And I hope you guys can come back soon. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Daisy. This was wonderful.
Of course.
thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.